Oh yes, welcome to Transformers Hub, where we very much get dedicated and committed to transforming lives. And every Friday, we shall always be throwing in something that is purely meant to transform lives for you people out there. Transformers Hub is in Namgongo. We have a variety of services we extend to the youth, to the children, to the adults across all ages, to ensure that we live a harmonious life. Every Friday we come in with something. Every Friday we throw in something. Follow us on our YouTube page. You'll not regret. You'll have something to learn. Today we want to share something that makes people's lives so hard, yet it can be very simple if you embrace it as a culture, as part of your life. Many people find a very big challenge in saying no. Actually, many people don't have the word no in their vocabulary. They find it very easy to say yes. And they find so many challenges because of their inability to say no, even to issues that are so pressing. But since at Transformers Hub, we are very much dedicated to transforming lives, educating and changing, impacting on your life timelessly. Today, we want to deeply share the benefits, the value of saying no. First of all, the word no itself is a complete answer. There is no any other explanation. It does not call for any explanation. Once you say no, you have said it, you have concluded it, and you're not subjected to any other discussion. Now, you who is listening, you who is following us, how many times do you say no, irrespective of how the rest are bound to feel? Provided it's protecting you and protecting your inner values. Many times we quickly say yes to please the rest, even when deep inside we are burning. Does it add any value to say yes to others when inside your heart it is a big no? Today, let us so much reflect on that. And saying no, by the way, means you know value for yourself. Never fear to say no because of how the rest are bound to interpret you. It simply suggests you know who you are, you know what you want, you know the value, you know your worthiness. So the immediate benefit of saying no, it protects your time and energy. Many times we waste a lot of time. For example, those of you who are in offices working, you came purely to execute a different duty. You left home with a different mandate. Only to get into the office, someone else is dragging you into another task that you did not prepare for. And because you want to prepare to please, it could, by the way, even be your boss. You came ready to work on a different task, but now your boss is dragging you into something else. You end up burning a lot of time and energy. It could be your workmates. They come up suggesting something else that you had not prepared for. Many people fail to execute weekly targets, daily targets, and eventually monthly targets because they fail to say no when they should really be saying no, either to please the rest or it has never been part of their culture. So today we want, by the time you're done with listening, when you have at least learned and agreed to have this as part of your life, to say no whenever you feel it is taking you off the planned agenda. Then, maintaining self-respect. The best way to inculcate the sense of respect yourself, and then upon that the rest will also have a reason to respect you, is your ability to say no. When you find it does not make sense, it is bound to cause more other challenges. And by the way, when you fail to stand for something, you're bound to fall for anything. Whoever comes around you is ready to drag you. I have seen very many bosses that have lost out the element of respect. Whoever speaks to them wins their hearts. At the end of the day, they are being influenced by everybody. The first person reports something and the boss swallows that. Another person also says a different opinion. The boss ends up taking that. They totally fail to have their ground. At the end of the day, you lose respect You as a manager out there, when you cannot stand, in fact, let me tell you, the true art of leadership is the power of saying no. Otherwise, saying yes is very easy. Anyone can say yes. The true art of leadership is your ability to say no. We have agreed yes can easily be said, but many people find a challenge in saying no. Then it enhances productivity. When I say today I've come purposely to work on this, irrespective of the other programs that may come in, those are not going to switch me off the track. Those will not drail me off the track. I left home purposely to execute a given task, and that is my target of the day. So I'll not quickly be convinced to turn into something else I'd not planned. The moment something comes in and I don't plan it, unless it's an emergency, unless it's a do or die, but I'll close the door to that activity so that at the end of the day, I concentrate on what I'm meant to work on for a particular day, for a particular hour. That will eventually enhance productivity. Out you listening there, how many times do you concentrate on a given task for a particular day? You say today, I'm not leaving office. I'm not turning to that. I'm not giving that attention. I'm not allowing in any other person until I'm done with this. You find you must even decline certain calls for the sake of executing given tasks. Let us embrace and learn that saying no does not mean you hate people. It does not mean you are rude. In fact, when you say yes to others, make sure you are not saying no to yourself. Many times we quickly say yes when deep inside we are burning out. And it's maybe because of our African cultural values. We much fear hurting people and we love so much pleasing people. But learn one thing today. The greatest key to failure is trying to please everyone. Every other time you want to please everyone, of course, by saying yes, you'll please no one. Then the other benefit, improving decision making. Improving decision making. We have already agreed that the true art of leadership is saying no, and which is a challenge to very many managers. So the moment you have the ability to say no, that is already a decision. It is part of decision making. When you stand boldly to say, no, this will not work. This is unacceptable. The more you say no to things that don't matter, is the more you say yes to things that matter. And these are tips to managers out there. The more you say no to things that don't matter, is the more you say yes to things that matter. So decision making, even when you feel it's hurting a certain group, if it is a no, let it be a strong no. I always find challenges, especially with ladies, and many men out there have taken advantage of ladies because they never stick to their no. In fact, many men have concluded that when a lady says no, she's indirectly saying yes. And that has compromised their values and respect. Their failure to stick to their no. On Monday, she's saying no. A few days down the road, she's really compromising her no into a strong yes. So if you're to improve decision making on any issue, your ability to say no is very, very important. Then it reduces stress and burnout. Many a times we overcommit ourselves to things that we don't even have time for. You left home to do something else and another thing comes in and you say, yes, I'll be there. In the evening, I'll be there. Someone calls you for a meeting. Yes, I'll be there. We have lost a colleague. Yes, I will be there. All the time you're giving yes to every other detail that comes in. At the end of the day, you're stressed over things you should have really let go. So we need to strongly learn the best way at times to even reduce stress on our table is to boldly stand and say no. Yes, whereas that is very important. No, I cannot attend to it now. This will perhaps be addressed next week. No, it's not part of this week's budget. Managers out there, the moment you find it's not part of the budget, then let us have the ability to say no, this is not on the agenda for this week. No, I am not attending to that. No, we are not releasing money for that. I know in the process, some people will be hurt, but it's okay. It's better to hurt some people than infringing on your rights, on compromising your values, your integrity, just because you must say yes to see others smile. Then, the other good thing about saying no, it fosters, it promotes respect in relationships. When I talk of relationships, it could be with others. Look at the people you work with. The moment you must bow down to every other suggestion, oh, you'll find yourself in big trouble. I've already told you, the greatest key to failure is trying to please everyone. That is the fastest ride to failure. So even in a given workplace, or even in our usual relations with other people, we need to have a strong sense of no. It creates, first of all, boundaries. Someone should know his limits or her limits. But now let us graphically paint a picture of a lady in a given working environment. You could be nice looking, let us agree. And now that is creating so many problems around you. Everyone feels should throw in their requests. And because you feel you don't want to hurt anyone, you must say yes. Very many ladies have been compromised for the sake of getting jobs. And they are pushed into what others define as carpet interviews. Just because they can't strongly stand to say, no, this is wrong. It could be a boss and he's suggesting unnecessary outings, of course, with other hidden motives. Stand your ground and say no. This will protect and promote a positive working relationship. Someone is driving you into a funny, dubious deal. And because you don't want to hurt them, you quickly get compromised. At the end of the day, when they begin accounting for the swindled money, it's a group of around 5 people. But it simply defines some failing to say no, even when they knew this was very wrong. Others can even be used, or their offices are used as passages for so many dubious deals. And someone is compromised, fears to hurt others. How will I be seen as the person failing the old system? Let me quickly say yes. At the end of the day, you all look puppets. And it becomes worse off when it gets to sexual relationships. The best way to jump out of the scandals of sexual relationships, especially at a workplace, or it could even be in society, you as a lady out there, is your ability to say no. And when you say no, stick to your no. And many have told you, say yes, when deep inside their hearts, they are saying no to themselves. But just because they want to please the rest, it is very bad. Today I feel a point should be taken. Your ability to stand boldly and say no. And I said in the beginning, no is a complete answer. It does not call for any explanation. Will you hang out with me today? No. Then I don't need to go into other details. I'll stick to no. And let you know. By the way, yes can be a relaxed tone or with tonation, with a relaxed tonation. But let no, whenever mentioned, be in the capital letters. Let it be a strong no. If we must have positive working relations and respect, then it builds confidence. If especially it is made in a respectful and in an assertive way, it really builds confidence. Because you're first of all very sure of yourself. And when you say no, you must be able to defend and stick to your no. You'll be very confident of what you're doing. By the time you say no, yes, you mean that. And not any person else is going to bulldoze you. So it will leave you as a very confident person. And by the way, you'll even instill confidence in others. Because the moment they say, the manager has refused it, then that is a closed chapter. That is a closed chapter. But others are saying yes. Many of you are having wrangles at your workplaces simply because different offices are being compromised. The element of complacence is killing a lot. People quickly allowed to be compromised. You lose nothing by boldly saying no. So the other thing, it inspires others. Very interesting. When people look at you and you can stick to your values, you can stick to your principles, many will later be inspired. Many are bound to be inspired by the way you live to your standards, by the way you live to your set goals. When you say, this, I will not do it. And everyone says, oh yeah, if that man says no, it means no. I love him for what he stands for. But look at why we even have the rotten or degenerating world, and the political sceneries are all rotten. Just because the inability of many people to stand and say no. Look at what happens in the forces, where people are quickly instructed. They are given instructions, go kill, go shoot. Even when they feel it is wrong, but because they must please others, their no is quickly compromised, it's buried, and people are only trained to say yes. Even if it's your boss, when the values are very clear, politely and with all the respect, stick to a no, that this is wrong, this will not work. And eventually, the person will understand that you just cannot be compromised. But when you become a yes man, every time you say yes, in fact, something very interesting in here. When you're 2-3 people, and in every situation, you must all say yes to one another, then either one of you, or not, if not all of you, you just could be useless. One of you could be useless. Even if, by the way, it is at a home level, husband and wife, and in every situation you're saying yes to one another, then one of you is useless. I've used a very strong word, but people must realize that no is equally a better option in some situations. Not every situation calls for yes, and many have been compromised. Many things have gone wrong because we have failed to learn to say no. Look at our children, growing children, how they have been diverted to so many dubious acts, others into even drug abuse, others into homosexuality, just because they have never learned the ability to say no when something is wrong, irrespective of who is commanding you. Why we quickly say yes, we look at the hierarchy of or the chain of command or the source of instruction, and we quickly bow down. I have seen so many problems, especially in organizations, because the boss has said this, the manager is saying this. Even when you feel something is wrong, you quickly get compromised. What do we say? He has said this. Stand and say, no, this is wrong. This is putting us in problems. And at the end of the day, you stand a clear ground. And it helps establishing boundaries. Not everyone will bump into you. The moment they say no, he will not allow that. You want to create a deal and you want his signature, trust me, he will not accept that. But the moment they know you're a yes person, someone will quickly come with a very sweet story around your table. And you'll quickly say, yes, yes. By the time you realize it, you're already in problems. You've put the entire organization in problems. This is something I found very necessary, and I feel at Transformers Hub, where we are very much committed to transforming lives across all ages, I found it necessary to cause a wake-up call to all the managers and people in your lives. How many times do we boldly stand to say no? Or even if it's a money request. We have just talked about reducing stress. People have financial stresses because every budget presented on your table, you quickly say, yes, we shall see what to do. Yes, we shall see what to do. And at the end of the day, in a month, you have 5 budgets of different functions and you have already committed yourself. Because the moment you say yes, you are already creating reminders. Because someone will quickly tell you, a promise is a date. And why would someone say a promise is a date? Simply because you assured the person, yes, we shall see what to do. Many people bring their proposals and you find the manager has 1,000 proposals on their table because they feel they want to be very polite to whoever knocks on their doors. How about saying, no, we can't handle this, please, sorry. And by the way, I love the way the Indians do it, or at times the way Europeans do it. They are very fast at saying no. Their no is a no, and they will not give any other explanation. It's a no, it's a no. And I said, no is a complete sentence. It does not call for further explanations. So let us learn the ability to say no, such that we avoid there would be so many questions here and there. And I feel the best way to improve your lifestyle, the best way to stand boldly and even earn respect and value is your power to say no. Learn to say no to the good so that you can say yes to the best. Learn to say no to the good so that you'll be able to say yes to the very best. Thank you so much. I'm Chene Andrew here at Transformers Hub, ready and very committed to transforming lives timelessly. We extend a variety of services to many people out there. The school managers, we have a very big package for your children out there. We speak to all generations. We speak to the teachers, capacity building to the teachers, to the managers, to the support staff, because we realize the support staff never get any official or formal training. They rather learn on job, on trial and error. And they make so many mistakes. Eventually you fire them, you hire and fire. But we are very committed. At Transformers Hub, we extend training, official training to all categories. Then children are getting back into the holidays. Please, every Friday, we shall be throwing in something so that we have a better generation. It begins with you and me to have a better world. Transformers Hub, we are already a mile into transforming lives of the youth, the young ones, and the elderly. We even cross into our working environments and we share experiences and we help one another. One hand washes the other. Always tune in every Friday on our YouTube, our Facebook channels. We are always there to transform lives. God bless you. Thank you so much for keeping with us here at Transformers Hub.